used to having her back, like her sort of boyfriend at the time is sort of having feelings for her again, even though he's now married. So it's
married or engaged?
He's married. Gary, so what did you think of this?
I thought
it's so unfair. I don't know why I turn up every week. I really don't.
Why not? Why?
I don't know. It's just you only care about Gary's thoughts.
Oh.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Luke. So do you.
Well, yeah, I do, but I would never say it.
I'll get Luke's thoughts.
I thought this was pretty damn good. I really do. I thought this was. This made me weep for the end of BBC Three a little bit, because this was so good that it deserved to be on before they got shut down. I'm worried that not enough people will see this.
It is on BBC Two, though, as you say. Although I do think they should have. Yeah, well, it's got that great lead-in from Let's Play Darts for Sports Relief. So.
Well,
yeah.
what more, and then it's followed by Match of the Day 2. What more could you want? Yeah. I think the lead actress is incredible. She has managed to...
Well, whose name is?
Oh, I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know.
Jodie Comer.
Who was in Dr. Foster.
Who you last saw in Dr. Foster.
Oh,
right.
Was
the one he was having the affair with.
That's right. She's actually managing to play this as an adult like a kid, which is the whole idea. You know, she's playing a kid of 13 who's grown up and not really grown up. So that's very difficult. She also has the most wonderful kind of glazed look in her eyes that you think would be appropriate for someone who's been through what she's been through. There's not even the guarantee that this is who she says she is. There's no guarantee that she was.
Well, that's it, Gary. That's what I like about this, because ordinarily in a show like this, you'd have the character of Ivy be this sort of sympathetic character who you want to care for, and you know you're completely behind. But you get these hints of, can we trust her? And it's this factor that she's an untrustworthy narrator, which makes 13 different from, say, Room, which has been on recently. You know, similar concept. But the thing is that Jodie Comer plays it so well, you never know how to trust her. And then, as you say, Gary mentioned Richard Rankin, who's the police officer. I think in episode 2, it does get a bit like in your face, where it's like, you better watch out because she's playing you, blah blah blah.
I'm guessing that.
Officer,
how many of there are these?
There's 5.
Yeah, 5. I think that's a great number of episodes, because I think there is a good amount of plot in there, but more than that, and I'd feel like maybe they were dragging it out.
Let's hear Luke's thoughts then.
It's just very, very good. It's one of those dramas that grabs you from word go. I think she comes out of this place she's been held captive for so long, and
that
just runs to a phone box.
Sorry to interrupt. That opening tracking scene of her running down the road is brilliant.
Great.
And I think Jodie Comer, I mean, Gary said about how wonderful she is and the glazed look and the playing the younger. She just has this presence about her when she's on screen that you just, whether you trust her or whether you don't, you are sort of captivated by her performance. I will say that it is perhaps down to BBC Three being online. As much as I love the first one, and I do, and I will watch more, I haven't sought out the second episode yet.
Would you do what Gary's doing then and watch it on BBC Two?
I wouldn't. Oh, well, I wouldn't watch it at 10 o'clock. I think that's a shame. But
I'm just recording it and then watching it, which I mean, I suppose I could do with iPlayer, but I don't know. Again, this whole thing about BBC Three annoys me a bit, because I don't really feel like it's accessible at any time. I feel like it's too complicated. If I want to watch it, I just want to record it and watch it, and I can't do that with BBC Three now.
If you are watching it online pace, they put them up after midday every Sunday, which is strange in itself, really. I don't quite know why.
I'm sure they've done some sort of background research that shows that most people watch television on Sunday afternoons and, Netflix and stuff.
Well, I can't imagine you sitting down for your roast and then watching this straight afterwards.
No, but Sunday they would get it up and go, it's up, so we'll watch this tonight, when they're choosing their evening.
So why don't they put it on in the evening then?
Well, why don't they just put it on BBC Two of an evening? So that would be my...
What's something that is on BBC Two? Stag.
God, he's good at this.
Seamless, that was.
Yeah.
Which is on 9 PM on Saturday. Again, an odd time. Is it 9 PM on Saturdays or later?
9 PM, but it goes on till later.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if it's 9. I had a feeling it was like 9:45.
No, it's 9 o'clock. It's a very peculiar. Not
Probably
that
get
there's a
bumped
wrong or a right time. But,
No,
I mean,
it doesn't feel like. I mean, BBC Two doesn't do a lot of stuff on Saturday nights anyway, does it? In terms of news
but what I'm
shows?
saying is, at some point, because over Easter the snooker starts, so it'll get pushed to
Well,
weird.
Well, no,
it's
this is a 3-parter, so it's
Oh, well, there
finishing
you go
this
then.
Saturday.
Cover me.
This is by Jim Field Smith, who did The Wrong Mans, which we all enjoyed, and George Kay, who his IMDb profile said he created the first series of The Choir. I'm not quite sure how.
wow.
Is he also related to Peter Kay?
Not as far as I know, Gary.
I thought you were going to say The Wire then. I was all ready for a bit of, you know.
No, The Choir, not The Wire.
Yes, the two.
No, you're just
the two are
imagining Gareth
seamlessly
Malone
linked.
in Baltimore, aren't you?
Go and get off my patch.
Well, sing.
I'll sing at your ass.
This stars Jim Howick of, I suppose, Peep Show. He's probably best known
Of
for.
everything, I think, now.
And also, he'll be in another show that we'll talk about in a moment. And he's Yonderland Horrible Histories as well. He plays
Peep
Ian.
Show.
I said Peep Show.
Did you? I tuned
I
out.
can confirm he's a Peep Show. I wasn't.
Ian, a sort of mild-mannered geography teacher who turns up for the wedding of his future brother-in-law, played by Stephen Campbell Moore, both of whom were in The Wrong Mans in sort of smaller roles. And it's basically a hunting weekend in Scotland, and things start to go awry. People start getting killed off, and it's basically then turns into sort of a fight for survival. Luke, what did you think of this, and specifically the tone? I think we both had similar feelings on this, didn't we?
It was really weird. The tone is very oppressive at times, in as much as, you know, they turn up, it's scary, it's in the middle of nowhere, there's the rain slashing down, there's thunderstorms, everyone's a bit peculiar, and I was a bit overwhelmed by the tone, and sort of, sometimes a show can have a tone so strong that you miss what's going on in the show because the tone takes over. And I very nearly gave up on Stag, but something kept me going. I'm not sure what it was. I think it was the Jim Field Smith connection.
Yeah, it doesn't have the charm of The Wrong Mans, but I think as it goes on, you get a similar feeling. Sort of things about these characters, because another thing about these characters, apart from the Jim Howick character, is that they're all quite arrogant financial types. At one point, the character played by Tim Key describes them as the worst kind of people. But as you see on, they've got all these sort of insecurities, things that they're holding back. One of them's gay, one of them's impotent, and it just... Oh, sorry, infertile. Sorry, not impotent. And as it goes on...
Somebody was about to write in.
At the same time, you get this sort of action horror backdrop, as I said the other week, sort of Deliverance style. And then it sort of plays into... Why are all these men together? You know, who is it? Why is it that they're being killed off?
So it's a comedy where I don't think I laughed once throughout the two. I certainly smiled, and I certainly enjoyed it, but I never actually laughed. But it doesn't matter.
No.
Because the story is interesting
enough. I found it funnier in the second... I think the second episode, because I've seen all three now, and the second episode I think is the strongest. I think Jim Howick is very good, but also Rufus Jones as this sort of TV executive who keeps trying to get what's it called, something for the homeless scheduled on ITV2.
Oh God, something that Caroline Flack was a part of,
which just feels really believable, doesn't it? His character feels, as both of us have been sort of in a similar room, the same room as similar types of people to this. Yeah. I think we can sort of see how based in reality this character is. But definitely an odd show, unnerving at times, but interesting and unique concept.
Yeah, it's one I'm going to remember, I think, and it's one I'm going to enjoy. I'm looking forward to seeing how they resolve it, and I think, unfortunately for everybody involved, it will be one that just passes the majority of people by.
Which shouldn't. Gary, are you going to check this out?
Well, I'm sort of listening to your conversation and wondering whether I am. I've got it recorded, but I'm not sure. Neither one of you have kind of sold it that much.
No, it is really... we should say it is really good.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's not a comedy where you're going to be... Your sides are going to be
split.
It's
not a comedy, I would say.
It's not really a comedy.
The description was black comedy, and that was like, that's like a Shakespeare comedy. You know,
The Wrong Mans had a lot more slapsticky humour in it. This doesn't have that.
Well, the whole James Corden character was there for the laugh.
This is sort of
so if this hasn't got it, then...
The thing, I suppose, it comes from the fact that they're on this stag weekend, but as well they're sort of being bumped off, and there's that great scene, I think it's in episode 2, where they have that toast, or they're drinking, and he doesn't do the thing with his pinky finger. And
there was an element there, as daft as it sounds, of, and then there were none, where you're just waiting for the next person to come to a grisly end.
And obviously, the most ridiculous point of it is that in the whole thing, Stephen Campbell Moore is wearing a pink bunny. Is it pink bunny outfit? But no, pink stag outfit, isn't he?
Stag, yeah. It's in the title.
Yeah, okay. Very briefly, this week's episode of Fresh Meat was excellent.
My favourite episode ever. I'm going to go out on a.
I think my favourite still might be the one where they all went to JP's house and drunk all the wine.
Is that the one where we find out why Oregon is Oregon?
Yes. This episode saw all the male characters head to London for various job-related things. Kingsley had a Radio 6 music interview.
Fantastic.
JP had an interview at his brother's bank, and Howard got lost and tried to find Ordnance Survey, which was genius.
I love that.
And all the girls went to a sort of retreat run by one of Vod's old friends, and basically all the 3 girls, a lot of their anxieties and stuff came out. Josie reinvented herself as Jobbo, which was amazing.
I've said this to you earlier. I think that Kimberly... I mean, they're all brilliant. But
I think
Kimberly Nixon
and Zoe Ashton was brilliant in this. When she was
acting...
acting their socks off. But I just think she was brilliant in that scene where she was going on about, having to do an access course and surviving on baked beans. Anytime Fresh Meat does that pathos to add to the humour, it's just because you feel like these characters and you feel their anxieties. And there's that bit with Kingsley as well where he's getting the feedback from the job, and he basically listed all of his sort of negative qualities before the guy had actually said it.
There's just something about that the dialogue, the rhythm of the dialogue, the words they choose.
The only thing that I don't think fits in, and you'll probably back me up on this, is Ida Field. I don't know what show she thinks she's in, but it's not Fresh Meat.
She thinks she's in, I don't know, some Kenko coffee advert, I think.
Yeah, you're right there.
Is that Robbie Williams' girlfriend?
Wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former wife.
But she's not, and perhaps that's why I enjoyed it, because it was just the main cast, just together and acting their socks off.
Briefly, the Aliens as well, which was on E4. This was I looked up the writer earlier, whose name now I've forgotten again. And do you know what else he wrote?
What, this mystery person?
Yes.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think his name's Finton Allen, maybe. Finton something. And he wrote, do you remember Never Better, the Stephen Mangan...
God, yes, in 2008. AA Stephen Mangan comedy,
Yeah. And now The Aliens, which is this sort of...
Is that it? Is that the
He's not
CV?
got an IMDb, but he's got a Wikipedia, and those are the only 2 things that they list.
Sake.
But the basic concept of The Aliens, I don't know why they added the, because when it started it was just Aliens.
Not confused with the film Aliens.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
That's probably why, actually. Well done, guys.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's why he's here, I wondered.
Set in sort of an alternative reality where in, say, I think it was 40 years ago, aliens crash-landed on the planet. Then in sort of 1990, they built a wall between the human side and the alien city of Troy. They're sort of offensively referred to as Morks, which I thought was quite good. The hero of the piece is Lewis, played by Michael Socha. Is it Socha? Sasha?
I think it's Soka.
Soka. Who is best probably known for being a human and the This Is England franchise.
And being Lauren Sucker's brother.
Here playing Lewis, who's a border security guard, basically controlling everyone who goes in and out of the alien side. Jim Howick again is there as a cleaner who is an alien but also wants to befriend Lewis. He finds out that he is himself half alien through a number of things happening. This has also got Michaela Cole in it, who was in Chewing Gum, which I absolutely hated last year, but she's brilliant in this. She plays sort of like a seductive gangster called Lily Hot, who basically manipulates everybody in some fashion during the course of this first episode. It's an interesting premise. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I think the acting is good. and the production design is excellent. And I also like the idea of the fact that alien hair is a addictive drug that if you smoke you get high. So that's an interesting.
Oh, is it alien hair? I assumed from the advert it was human hair.
No, it's alien hair, and that's why they spray the aliens before they come into the human side, so they can't then sort of shave their hair off and sell it on.
The things you learn on the podcast.